Being back in the US for a few weeks was good for me. It allowed me to reset my thinking and my attitude going into the new year, so when I returned back to Albania, I was able to hit the ground running. But the weather had other plans, and a passing winter storm gave me a slight delay. And, as is our tradition when we are both in the country at the same time, my friend Sam and I took the first snow of the year as a sign for a polar plunge. I've said it before, but I don't really care about the water temperature of the lake when I swim. If the weather is beautiful and the water glassy and inviting, I'll go in. So I've swam in Lake Okrid in all seasons. It's definitely not the first time I've gone in with snow on the ground, or with harsh winds. But without a doubt, this was the most difficult swim I've had in a long time. The swirling snow stabbed at our skin like sand in a windy desert. The wind was bitter and unforgiving, bringing on a headache as soon as I stripped down. As we walked out, I looked at Sam and told him today was a rough one, and we got it over as quickly as we could. Sometimes it's not about how long you're doing it, but about the act of doing it. Tapping into the discipline of sticking with something despite it being severely uncomfortable.
Oh. That one hurt. That one hurt.
And when I had returned home and had warmed up in the shower, I set about doing typical January activities, like removing the Christmas tree. This little tree was given to me years ago by some American friends that were moving back to the US. I don't think I'd used it until this year, but it certainly came in clutch in early December when I wasn't feeling in the Christmas spirit. I set it up, not knowing I would be at my brother's house for the holidays. And that little jumble of green, red, and gold plastics was enough to have me ready for Christmas with a positive spirit. I'm thankful that I had it, and I'm thankful for my friends Ryan and Kayla that left it behind for me. But now it was time to move on to 2025, and it was time for the tree to go back into storage. snow kept falling steadily for the entire day, sometimes calmly, and other times in a frantic sideways gale. But when it was all said and done, there was quite a buildup, that of which I hadn't seen in the last couple of years, and it made some of the streets in the city look like a winter wonderland.
That's crazy. It's all just drifted. I bet this side doesn't really have that much on it. Oh, I was wrong. That's crazy. Just hanging off like a shelf. Shoo! Shoo!
That's fine.
On the trees with the lights and everything. It looks sick. Wow, I haven't seen that. I don't know if I've seen this much snow in the entire time that I've lived here. This is wild. Let's try to get this shot. That might freeze shut tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to get that open again. Look at this. Phew. Hey, proof of a snowplow. I didn't think they used those out here. I've seen them, but I didn't know they actually were putting them to use.
But the snow here doesn't tend to stick around for very long, because of the winds and the temperatures slightly above freezing. So over the course of the next few days, you could slowly start to see it recede and melt off into the lake. And I took a quick trip to Tirana to sort out some organizational things for the van. Something that I'd been planning on for years, but somehow it had always just slipped my mind. After being with my brother and two of my sisters, and a bunch of nieces and nephews over the holidays, I was inspired to figure out ways to keep them closer at heart. So I sent a text to my siblings asking them for family photos that I could print out and hang on my fridge. Even if I can't see them very often, I felt like seeing their faces on a daily basis as I passed through the kitchen would be some kind of consolation. I used to think I was so different from them, and I didn't fit in. And I didn't want to. But as I've gotten older and formed my own life apart from my family, I realized how important it is for me to keep them around. So this is my small way of doing that, despite the thousands of miles of separation. Another thing that being in the US did for me was give me a huge boost of confidence. After playing with former teammates and old and new friends in Idaho, I came back to Albania chomping at the bit to get back on the basketball court. Our team has its struggles that I am not in a position to fix, but I am certainly in a position to fix my own personal struggles on the hardwood. After being reminded of the kind of player I still have the potential of being, I was ready for things to start changing. Heading into 2025 had me feeling inspired for all kinds of adjustments for my life. Things that for the last couple of years I've wanted to do, but didn't. And there's no excuses for it. I just didn't do them. So I decided that this year is going to be the year. And I've committed to forming the habits that I need to form to make it possible. I'll reach out and grab the guitar more often. I'll crack open the pages of books on my shelf that have been there for years, forgotten, and collecting dust. I'm going to be putting more intentional effort into the things I find valuable and the things that in 10 years' time I want to be better at. Because those 10 years will pass either way, and it's up to me to make them worthwhile. And if you want to be here for the journey, subscribe to my channel to follow along. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll be back soon.